Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to Omen Exitio, Plague. And last time we went through training, and like the music just suddenly got loud again. Weird, strange. We knew I started recording. But anyway, yeah, we did our training, and then it said we're probably gonna be. Well, it didn't say we would be in battle, but it said that the ultimatum expires tomorrow. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that means we don't abdicate. We go in ourselves. That's what I'm assuming. Your squadron is lined up in the courtyard of the headquarters. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, but this time everyone is wide awake. You're ready to set off for the Sultan's palace. Looking around, you can see anxiety in the faces of your fellow soldiers. The time given for the ultimatum is almost up. The British force is composed of some ships and around 1,000 men, but the Sultan's army should not be underestimated. Between his most loyal men and the soldiers subdued to his will, the prince has gathered a little army, not to fight against the enemy squad. The reason for Smith's urgency is training the men, with all those hours crawling in the mud and climbing palm trees, is now clear. He was figuring out how prepared his soldiers were rather than just training the new recruits. Khalid's graded time has almost run out, and the Rear Admiral Harry Lawson, who is on board the St. George, notifies the men to stand by for the attack. You don't know him well, but you have heard he is intolerant of anyone who fights under any banner but his. It's General Lloyd Matthews who begins the attack, ordering his men to open fire upon the prince's palace. Well known for his extraordinary willpower and determination, Matthews has just one goal in this fight: unseat the usurper as quickly as possible. Matthews is probably pretty good at Undertale. Stupid joke, I know. Even Smith seems intimidated by the figure of Zanzibar's Prime Minister, General Matthews. Oh! Matthews is a bad guy, okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay. I didn't read that right then. Nervously commands his troops to move forward to the palace. He wants a reconnaissance group to avoid ambushes and to look for the best point to strike. It might be weird, but I feel like my comprehension is actually a little bit less when I read it out loud. I feel like I comprehend things a little bit better when I read it, silently. That might be weird. I think a lot of people probably understand it better, but I guess I'm the opposite. Offered going reconnaissance to the dock. South the palace gardens. You stay silent, wait for further orders. Well, we're not specifically. How much observation do we have? Reconnaissance sounds like an agility thing. Not agility, but agility too with the sneaking, but observing. Let's do that. Sir, I'd like to volunteer to go on a recon mission to the dock. Smith appreciates your initiative. Drew, looking you straight in the eye for a few moments, he decides to put you in command of the operation and chooses a group of men who are going to follow you and take your orders. Crap. Well, they're screwed. You lead your group, running close to the palace walls and sliding like thin shadows in the daylight. You place yourselves near the shore, hiding behind the dunes, where your backs barely sink into the sand and your watchful eyes can have a view of the entire dock. All around you, the sound of the cannons echoes from the Allied ships, which are wiping out the opponents. Ooh, hey, we're good at both of those. I mean, recon, is gaining reconnaissance, which is, information. So you would think that this would be a good one. See what's happening, Ooh, yeah. With a rapid glance, you realize most of the Sultan's artillery has been neutralized, and the English ships have bombarded the shores, annihilating any resistance. Many locals are dead, and you watch as the injured are being carried away. In the distance, not far from the dock, you see the only enemy ship sinking, mirroring the situation on the land. The whole situation seems to favor the British Army, so you decide to retreat to the palace gardens. This way you can support your allies in the battle, which is almost at its climax. While you move forward, you meet your allies on the way back. They are euphoric, and when they see you, they flow their arms around with joy. Yay! Yay! I don't think that's the way soldiers would do it, Or maybe it is, I don't know. I've never been on a battlefield, thankfully. Don't want to be there. Guys who are there, you're awesome. The war for the Sultan's palace has turned out to be a surprisingly short-lived affair. After only 45 minutes of steady cannon fire, the British Army has forced the Sultan and his men to surrender. Despite the brevity of the battle, you are happy with yourself and how you managed to contribute to the victory. At the end of the fight, while he addresses the troops, Smith unexpectedly addresses you in front of the other men. Huntington, you did well in the battle. I didn't know you were a leader. Man, I'm racking up this experience. Can't level up another skill, though, right now. Okay, awesome. I was expecting that to go badly. You head towards the headquarters with your troop. You walk away from where the fight took place and turn to look at the Sultan's palace, which is still surrounded by smoke from the battle. The ruins collapse in upon themselves, causing clouds of sand and dirt, while you see the British ships in the distance peacefully sailing away in the background. You fell behind the rest of the troop or distance from you. You speed up to reach them when an elegantly dressed man approaches you on the street. The stranger takes his hat off in greeting, and he speaks to you with a German accent. Mr. Huntington, could I trouble you for a moment of your time? You're confused. You've never seen this man, as far as you recall. You stop on the street, staring at him without uttering a single word, while the crowd seemed to distance itself from around you, as they were trying to avoid the embarrassment of an uncertain situation. Finally, your mind manages to find a concrete answer, while your mysterious interlocutor waits with great patience, with his hat held to his chest. Wow! It's an interesting word. Let's be nice. Let's see who he is. Pardon me, but do we know each other? Forgive my rudeness. My name is Meyer. Nice to meet you in person, finally. He keeps smiling at you, barely bending his head in a sign of respect, as if he is waiting for your next query, which doesn't take long to reach your lips. The pleasure is mine, Mr. Meyer. May I ask how you know of my name? This is the 1800s, so I'm assuming you didn't see me on Twitter. Man, your tweets are hilarious, man. The way you nail the political and the humor, wow. Yeah, I don't think that's how it is. You see, Mr. Huntington, I am here on behalf of a group of people who deal with public health. The gentleman group I belong to are very interested in what happens around them and in the whole world. Of course, we know you by reputation. What reputation? You're just one of the many doctors in London, and you're not even sure whether your neighbors would recognize you. Mayer's German accented speech stops the flow of your thoughts. So wait, we were a doctor? If we were a doctor, I would think my medicine skill would start off like halfway, at least. Or maybe just like one. Maybe we're a really crappy doctor. I'd hope to talk to you if you have time, of course. Hmm. We gotta find out. We gotta find out more what this guy knows. So yeah, let's find out what he had. You sit down in a bar along the street. The man orders 2 coffees while he watches you with a strange but friendly smile. Unable to inspire trust, he raises his cup just a little, sipping his coffee and studying your every movement, making you feel uncomfortable. Please don't be so nervous. You make me feel like an executioner ready to cut your head. Okay, the fact that you brought that up makes me uncomfortable. You're not helping. Why are you thinking about cutting my head off? I just need to know. Why are you thinking about beheading me? Man smiles and lowers his cup in front of him, leaning his elbow on the table. His hands meet in a triangle near his chin. He never stops staring at you for a moment. We know you are not a soldier. Your medical research is cutting edge. I and the gentleman that I represent have gathered a lot of information about you, and we'd be interested in working together. Think of us as modern patrons. Sounds like a bad sitcom. Modern patrons. He laughs as if he found his metaphor enjoyable. Or perhaps he's simply amused by the astonished paleness of your face. You don't need to answer yet, Mr. Huntington. Think about it. You know that every disease has consequences. Some of them even go beyond the deplorable loss of human lives. We are studying a dreadful disease which could soon turn into a pandemic. For this reason, we are looking for people who could truly make a difference in dealing with such diseases. People like you should not quit. Even though I can understand how you feel after your terrible tragedy. Tragedy? Is he really talking about Helen? Widower. He's really done his research on. He's really done his research on you. That wasn't a joke. You can't help wondering how he knows so much, especially about Helen. Let's keep listening. Let's not give any. Sorry. Let's not give any sort of response yet. Man looks at you right in the eye, holding your stare without the little uncertainty. Stop playing a soldier, Jake. It doesn't fit you, and you're wasting your time while the world needs your brilliant mind. Think about it, Mr. Huntington. We are willing to offer everything you need to help you change the destiny of the whole world. The man waves goodbye to you without granting you the chance to reply, vanishing into the crowd like a ghost. It says reply, but I'm sure it means reply. This meeting has left you pensive and distraught. It seems Mayer wants your collaboration, offering you his help, yet there is something about him you are not convinced of. Too many secrets and oddities. Let me check my. Okay, yeah, I need 6 more before I can level up something else. You enlisted to forget Helen and the illness which took her away. But your efforts have been useless. Your wife would have never wanted you to quit your job, yet not being able to save her destroyed your self-confidence and left you consumed by doubt and guilt. Now seems the past is trying to reach out to you in some way. Then you remember the message. You'd like to ask Mayer whether he sent that warning. You regret having not thought of it before. It's too late now. The man has already disappeared. I'm sure he'll be getting back in touch with us. We're at the headquarters during one of the quiet moments granted by training. A man reaches you, wheezing, to tell that Smith has summoned you. You head to his office with curiosity. After the War of Zanzibar, you have no clue what Smith could need from you. Is that considered a war? Seems more like a battle. You don't. I mean, I guess it could be like hour-long wars. You soon find yourself in front of Smith, who is silently looking you up and down from head to toe. His eyes nail you to the ground. After looking at you for what seems like unending moments, the captain clears his throat, moving his eyes to the windows. The country is in a critical condition, Huntington. A dangerous disease is spreading along the borders between German East Africa and British East Africa. He turned his head, barely looking at you. Even the German border. Meyer mentioned a disease, an epidemic. Is this the same disease he was talking about? You wonder why Smith is so interested in this mysterious outbreak, but you stay silent, waiting for the man to continue. I'm going to lead a squadron which is departing now to investigate that area of the country and to study the threat. I would like you to be part of my expedition. You're opening your mouth to answer when Smith turns back toward you, leaning his hands on his desk and wearing his slightly pained gaze. He then starts leafing through a paper ream, carefully examining it. This time I need your academic skills more than your soldier ones. I read your files. You were a doctor back in London, a good doctor. I want you to join the expedition to study diseases. Obviously, you haven't looked at my character sheet because you see that I suck at medicine right now. Well, I don't suck at medicine. I just only have one skill in it. This was not what you expected. Working as a doctor reminds you of your failure, which led you to escape. To enlist, to fight in order to drown your pain. You couldn't save the person you loved the most in the whole world. Smith now needs your medical skills, and you can't disobey his orders. You don't know how to answer. Well, now I'm regretting not having my medicine skill up some. With pleasure, Captain, I guess. The captain gives a hint of a smile which does not crack the graveness of his face. It's clear, however, that knowing you will be amongst his men makes him feel relieved. Go to the armory. Sergeant Carrig will take care of providing you with the equipment for the mission. Properly prepare yourself, Huntington. We will find ourselves in a contested area. As you're walking to the armory, other thoughts gather in your mind. Your past is coming back to you, like a threatening prowler cautiously approaching and waiting to pounce on you at the first opportunity. One more mysterious disease to study, and that man Meyer. I wonder whether this is the same disease or all this is just a curious coincidence. It's definitely not a coincidence. Sergeant Carrig, you have known him since you enlisted in London, and you have gradually taken to his scowling gaze and his harsh and grouchy attitude. He is a pedantic and excessively dutiful man, but he probably wouldn't manage weapon and supplies without these qualities. As always, when you arrive, he stares at you with half-closed eyes, as if he has to put you into focus. Huntington, what a pleasure to see you. I didn't know you would be assigned to this mission, and you've always been such a disaster with the rifle. I think that's an insult. He makes fun of you, bursting into a brief laugh with a hoarse and thick voice. Let's be friendly. Sergeant, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but my aim has definitely improved since we first met. I can even hit a moving target now. You use these moments to chat with Carrig, who keeps staring at you with a half smile which splits his face into two asymmetric parts. You reminisce about an amusing moment from the past, which is more embarrassing for you than for the sergeant, who seems delighted by those cadet memories of yours. In the end, you decide to end the tales in order to not be too late for the squadron assembly being gathered by Smith. I'm about to leave again, Carrig, on one more expedition. Something big's going on. Something big? Are you moving up, Huntington? You don't have enough scars yet to play veteran. The sergeant sniggers, but he watches you with a keen eye, never pushing his mockery too far. You know perfectly well how much Carrig cares about you, and as he took you under his wing. However, Smith has already told me something in advance. It seems he has a thing for you, our captain. Well, if that's the case, he'll need the appropriate equipment. You're not sure Smith can have a thing for something or someone, but you don't dispute the comment or indeed respond to it at all. What does a thing mean? I'm not sure what a thing means if someone has a thing for somebody. I know what it can mean, but I'm just wondering, you know. Carrick drives you to another area of the armory. The place is large, but most of it is empty, as if it were abandoned. The war at Sultan's Palace must have drained almost all the British Army supplies stored in here. The racks are almost empty, and Carrick pulls out 2 weapons on the table. Puts only 2 weapons on the table. In front of you, a rifle and a revolver. Huntington, you can choose 1 weapon only. This isn't London. We don't have unlimited resources. So in London, he can carry both guns around? Which one should we choose? The rifle would be better at a distance, but the revolver would be easier to just be like the handle, you know. No, the rifle you have to be like. With the revolver, you know, I would think so. I've never shot a gun before, but I would think it'd be easier to at a quick, you know, thing to aim a revolver, you know. And we are going there as a medic or as a doctor. I guess medic wouldn't quite be appropriate because we're not there to look over the soldiers. We're there to cure disease. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go revolver. Let me look at our notes. Only item we've got. Okay. Don't have any achievements yet, don't look like. After preparing it, the sergeant delivers you the revolver, then passes you the ammunition. His gestures are quick and precise. He checks each piece and puts them back together with extraordinary self-confidence. Where are you heading to, Huntington? Command hasn't told us anything about the mission, and Smith is more silent than a grave. More silent. Wow, that's pretty silent. Carrick tries to pretend not to care, but it's clear that he's eager to know what's going on. He's not very subtle. So if we pass this one, do we get experience? Yeah, it's cool. Awesome. Cool. There's a disease, some sort of epidemic, which is terrorizing the whole east of Africa. Smith wants me to join his expedition because he has learned about my past as a doctor. He'd like me to study the disease. I'm not sure I can do that. I don't. You hesitate for a moment, your nervousness given away by your shaking hands. Carrick seems to notice it and stops you in the middle of your speech. Somehow being honest has granted you his sympathy. Sounds like a dangerous mission now. I have something that might help. The sergeant starts thoroughly searching the drawers of the armory counter, carefully moving ammunition and junk of all kinds. Where the hell is it? I was sure I put it here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Carrick stands up again and puts a little object into your hands. It resembles a gun, but it's handier, as if it were a miniature rather than an actual weapon. You can't help but notice that, unlike the rest of the place, the gun is entirely spotless. Polished and perfect by all accounts. I know nothing in medicine. It's just not my field, but there is one thing I know. If you had to face an enemy, this might make the difference between life and death. He gives you the weapon, making your finger wrap around the grip and staring at you with extreme seriousness. Well, I wish I'd took the rifle now. It's a single-shot Colt Derringer. Derringer, I'm not sure. Don't let the size fool you. It's as deadly as any other weapon and not as difficult to use as a rifle. Sweet. Got an achievement. He tries to diffuse attention, sniggering sarcastically and patting his hand on your shoulder. You put the coat in your inner pocket and you smile back, a gesture of silent gratitude. Now to the warehouse. I've got something for you. You follow your old friend towards quite a large room that is as empty and dirty as the rest of the armor. It reminds you of the jungle in which you trained with the rest of the troop, maybe because of the humidity starting to stick your clothes to you. There's some crates here and there, but you can see that the British militia is running out of weapons and supplies. This equipment belonged to a doctor who was discharged some years ago. Keurig puts a magnifying glass, some vials, surgical pliers, and a first aid kit on the counter. Acceptable. Carefully place the objects in your backpack and thank Keurig for everything. You exchange some pleasantries and discuss a precious memory of London before saying goodbye. Good luck, Jake. Sergeant keeps watching you with his half-closed eyes as you walk away, sniggering to himself as usual. Wait, did I get enough to level? I did. I guess I should level up in medicine since I'm a doctor. Okay, nothing's changed on the now. Get back to the headquarters, tightening your backpack straps with your hands. Smith and a small troop of men are waiting for you in front of the barracks, ready to depart. Huntington, you're late. You're always late. FC Ryan is part of the expedition. Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy, so we're going to be happy about that. I'm happy you're here too. At least we're going to eat decently. I can't take this place's food any longer. I'm always scared of finding some bug on my plate. Ryan answers with a loud laugh, patting you on the back with all the tenderness of a clandestine fighter from the London suburbs. So you're going to be out in the jungle. I would think you'd have a lot more risk of finding bugs in this plate. They don't know how to make some damn pasta here, right? I have just found out about our new mission. It's about a disease or something. Do you know anything about it? You think about it a few moments, then you decide to open up to your friend. Smith asked me to join this expedition as a doctor. He wants me to study this disease, and I'm afraid this is something serious. The Italian cook nods before his face lights up as he remembers something important. Right, I almost forgot. O'Bannon should be among us too. As if he has been summoned with a propitiatory ritual, O'Bannon appears at your side, putting his arm around your neck. Look who's here, Doc Jake and Vespucci, the Golden Ladle. Bursts out laughing, then he whispers in your ear with slyly. Have some great bottles with me, it's going to be fun. Seems everything is a game for him, and somehow each time O'Bannon opens his mouth, you lament the innocent stupidity of adolescence. Let's be nice. We'll be nice. You know, why not? Take it easy with that thing, or you'll find whiskey instead of your blood sooner or later. If only that were true, Doc Jake. We would sing through every day and night our good Lord has given us. If he wants to emphasize his words, he starts to sing some old Irish song learned from his father or his drinking buddies. Despite everything, you feel more relaxed knowing both your friends will be part of the mission. You don't know any other squadron members, at least not well. Smith is in front of you, intent on smoking his pipe. He holds the hand of a child who seems around 6. Having noticed you, the captain approaches with the boy. Huntington, you haven't met my son yet. I introduced Scott to you. He'd like to come with us, see the wild animals, but this mission is too important. The child glances at his father with begging eyes, hoping to move his feelings. The captain seems to melt in front of those eyes, ruffling his hair. Another time, Scott. Say goodbye to Scott, who shyly hides behind his father. Smith yells at the troop. I was fixed to say it wouldn't be a good idea to bring a kid along, in the jungle. Period. Uh, Especially if there's a disease out there, Seems like it's just asking for trouble. On the march, men. A long trip awaits us. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. So there's a disease that we're going to have to help cure. That's going to be interesting. So yeah. Next time it'll probably start getting a bit on the weird and creepy side, I would imagine, once we get started on our journey. I wonder if this would be different very much if we'd replied to Meyer any different. Something I'm not sure about. But anyway, that is gonna be the end of the video. I'm beginning to have a drowsy spell hit me pretty bad. That's what happens when I have to record these in the middle of the night. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next episode of, what's the name of this game? Omen Exitio. Plague, right? Oh, well, okay, now we see where the plague is coming in, I was wondering about what the plague is about. Why is there a plague? But okay, now I'm seeing why there's a plague. But anyway, see you in the next episode. Later.